We are at a live range today, so you'll have to bear with any gunfire in the background. This is the Charles Daly Honcho semi-auto firearm. It is a 14-inch barrel and 27 inches overall length, and it comes weighing in at about 5.5 pounds unloaded. This is its first time out. We have not fired it yet. I'm going to try a varying array of ammunition. I already know, because I tried loading these in, that the shorty shells will not feed. It does not allow them to feed through the ramp here, so you're wasting your time if you're going to try to feed them in. It does come with a Picatinny rail at the bottom of the foregrip here. It's got sling swivels, so you've got a sling swivel here, and it comes with a backer plate to put behind the bird's head grip here for the other half of the sling swivel. And it also comes with a gas piston for 3-inch shells. They claim that it will not shoot 3-inch shells without that. Well, to keep with trends, looking back at some of my videos, it seems like I'm always in a perpetual state of sickness, so of course I'm sick again for this video as well. Wouldn't want to break that trend. So we're going to go ahead and try the Charles Daly shotgun out. I'm going to do some pattern tests as well as accuracy and functionality. I'm hoping, I've got high hopes for it, that it's going to do well. I've already taken it apart. I have not lubed it, so this is straight out of the box. I have wiped some lube between the barrel and the receiver, so that way it's got a little bit less. They really sopped the lube in there, so it's very difficult to take it apart as it is, and I'll show you how I got it apart. But there's very few videos on this one, so I figured I might as well add some to it. We'll go ahead and load her up and get shooting. We've got some 7.5 bird shot. This is just cheap herder stuff. So this will be the first few rounds out of it, and we'll see how it works. Fail to eject. Fail to eject. So right out of the gate, we had 2 fail to ejects out of 5. I do have an Olight. This is the Baldr. It's a laser and flashlight combo. I noticed putting this on right away that it did have some wobble to it, but not very much. For this close of a range, it probably won't make that much of a difference. But I'm trying to test that out as well. Fail to eject. Fail to eject. Fail to eject. All right, so we're getting a consistent fail to eject on this right out of the box. Of course, the Olight came falling off right away. I did not bring a screwdriver to tighten this up. It is a quick cam lever tightener, and that's probably why it was loose to begin with, was because it needs to be tightened a little. I might have a screwdriver in the car. Since we're having a lot of failures on this, I'm going to go ahead and take it apart real quick, show you how it's taken apart, and see if I see anything going on here. So you just take off the end cap here, it just unscrews, this slides off, and we've got another nut. I already see this is loose. So even though I had it tightened, the barrel must not have been fully seated. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down and put it back on here. Actually, yeah. We'll just go ahead and put it back together. And we'll see if we've got anything better now that that's tightened up, but I have a hard time believing it will. And let's go ahead and load up the next 5. Get this put back on, see if we can get her to fly off again. Yeah, see, it's not gripping very well. This does come with a 1911 rail adapter here too. I've got that in the box. And I might need to use that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right, let's go take some shots. There we go. All right, here we go. Fail to eject. Fail to eject. So that time it was my hand hitting it that caused it to jump off. And fail to eject. So looking at a website for the Black Aces tactical version of this, they've made some modifications like the charging handle and the bolt release here. On their website, they say that this requires more than 1,300 feet per second to operate. This herder's brand is 1180. This is the slowest stuff I could find. So I wanted to make sure that they were correct, and so far it appears so. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to some slugs, and I'm going to go look in my car to see if I have a screwdriver. I broke the screw off of this, trying to tighten it up. I didn't even get a full rotation out of it, and it snapped off. So I couldn't get it tight enough to grip onto the rail yet either. It's been loose, just kind of wobbles on there a little bit, so it still wouldn't clamp down tight enough. So it looks like I'll be sending that one back to them. I was really hoping to be able to use that just for accuracy testing as far as the laser goes. But one thing to keep in mind that I just noticed too is when you go to reassemble this, you have to make sure this is perfectly lined up and seated all the way in. You have to grab your sweatshirt, and then you can tighten this lock nut up on the end here. If you try to do it beforehand, it'll pinch in between the metal shroud here and that plastic fore end, and it will bind up and put a nice little dent in your fore end. I have some 1,600 foot per second slugs. These are the 1 ounce Winchester loads, and I also have a couple Brennecke. These are 1 3/8 ounce Black Magic. They're also about 1,600 feet per second on them. And for those ones, since they're 3-inchers, I'll have to put in the gas plug. I'm going to try some 3-inchers of the Bird Shot just to see operation on it. They claim it'll fail, so I'm going to go ahead and try that. I'm actually going to go ahead and try these herders ones first, just to see what we're going to get out of them. And I will be aiming for the metal plates down range. So hopefully these will feed better. Alright, that should be 5 of them. So let's see what we've got here. Now, since I'm hip shooting, accuracy is not going to be all there. So that's why I was really hoping for the laser light. But I'm going to go ahead and hip shoot for those metal plates and see where we hit. Just a little high. Oh, failed to feed. Click. It does have quite a bit of recoil, but it's tameable. It's not bad. So we're gonna try a little quicker shoot here and see if I can get anything on them. All right, let's go ahead and get these out. I'm gonna do the blue barrel down here. I think you can see that on range. Yeah, that's definitely warmed up there. All right, we'll let that cool down a bit. And we're gonna go ahead and put some 3-inchers in there just to check operation. They claim you have to change out the puck, so we'll see if that's correct. For rapid shots, it really does kind of push you back a bit. It's pretty fun though. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. I'd say it did just fine with the 3-inchers. I'm gonna go ahead and change pucks anyways and let this cool down. Well, one thing to consider is bringing a tool for this. It is not easy to grip. Once it cooled down, it was able to come off. So the rest of the disassembly is to take that off. The only way I could get this barrel out is to use this as a battering ram to drive it up. So you're supposed to take the charging handle off to be able to get it out. I use their little chamber flag as a way to kind of pry that out of there. And it is tight. So they say you can use a screwdriver as well. I found that this did work once or twice, but it's really in there now. So let's see. Let's see if we can use the screwdriver to do it. I hate using screwdrivers, but there it goes. So you can see it. We've got a little notch on the charging handle, and it's got a little detent right in the middle here. So make sure I get this in camera here. So this little detent has to line up, and so you can see it line up here. Just once that is out, you should be able to. They claim in the owner's manual you can just slide this off. I haven't been able to do that yet, so I'm just using this as a battering ram to slowly drive this up. There it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out to the 3-inch tube. Or, sorry, 3-inch gas puck. I suppose I should put my hearing aid back in. So you can see the difference. They don't have the O-rings on the 3-inch gas puck. So I'm imagining it's letting more gas to go by it. And reassembly should be about the same. Make sure you get this lined up just right. And you can see all the factory oils are starting to collect that gunpowder real nice in there. All right. And the battle begins. Get everything lined up just right. You're supposed to do these things off camera, so nobody can see you fumble with them. There we go. That lined up, this lined up, get this lined up. Lots of small pieces. And there we go. A little wiggle. You have to hold your tongue just right. Okay. And same thing, this is what happened the first time I shot it. This wasn't all the way seated in. So I got it seated in that time. This has little knurls on it to help lock it, which is what makes it so difficult to get back off until it cools off a bit. Okay, and now for this, you want to put this back in before you put the fore end on, because you can't hold the gas block back to be able to get this in if you don't. All right, that's all in. Okay, looks good. This is a two-piece fore end, so it's got a sleeve inside that can pop out too. It always pops out when you go to feed it in. Sometimes I get lucky and it doesn't, and I can get it all lined up. I don't like to look down the barrel though. It's scary enough. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. You have to get this lined up with the keeper. And there we go. Both sides, good. And the fore end cap here. All right, now I should be good for 3-inch shells now. So let's go ahead and load up some more 3-inchers. Nothing like jamming a cold earplug in your ear. All right. We'll see if it operates just fine with the 3-inch plug now. Well, not a plug, but gas piston. So hopefully it operates just fine. See if I can hit those plates for once. Hip shooting. Well, peppered it. Didn't knock it over. Oh. See me jerk that? Yeah. That was a fail to fire, because that was a live round that just came out. Okay, something's going on. Let's try it again. No. Got to charge that handle. There it goes. This earplug's not warming up fast enough. Let's go ahead and click it. There it goes. So it did not lock back that time. Looks like a light primer strike. Little dent. I have not lubed this up yet, so this is all just factory oil. Let's go ahead and hit that barrel. Yeah, got it. It's dead. All right, I'm gonna put up a steel plate. We're gonna go ahead and check the pattern. This is 21 feet, so probably your standard defense distance. And we'll go ahead and get this set up here. There we go. All right, going hot. So, size reference, we're probably about 4 inches larger than my hand. Let's go ahead and take another shot. You can see where the shot cup hit. Let's take another shot at a new piece of cardboard. But yeah, about a 14-inch spread. This is the 3-inch shells. Here's the one I shot to the right a bit. Shot cup's hitting higher. So hip shooting, I'm keeping at least linear. I wanted to bring it a little further left, and yeah, that was a little further left. And there's our shot cup. Well, the first shot is the steel plate. Again, hip shooting's not the most accurate, but we'll see if I can get close. I'd like to hit right on. And this is the Valkerie slug. So it's going to be pretty hard hitting. All right, here we go. Yeah, pretty hard hitting. All right, so I'm going to hit the rest of them on the plates back in the background. And we've got one left. Finish off that box. Here we go. This is where the plate got struck by the Valkerie slug, and here is what's left of it. It's got an interesting little point on it. That's all that's left though. I did have all the, not every single one, but most of the 1100 foot per second stuff fail. I'm going to load up some more with the 3-inch gas piston and see if they operate with that. I highly doubt it will, but maybe. So the failures we had were light primer strikes on the Winchester brand 3-inchers. Again, this has not been lubed, so this is straight out of the box. All the light load stuff failed. I mean, it shot fine, but it would not cycle properly. Yep, fail. Failed to eject. That one ejected. That was it. It actually did a little better, I think, with the 3-inch gas piston in there. Let's go ahead and finish off this box because science. Scientific study. Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's one more in here too. So it did not feed up. There it goes. So it stayed on that loading ramp the whole time. So it did not get lifted up. So that's a little problematic. All right, here we go. Better. Didn't eject the last one. So, as long as you stay above 1,300 feet per second, I think you'll be fine. Bleeding a bit there. That's not from the gun, that's from the target stand out there. I scraped it against one of the metal rebar sets there that holds the rubber mat up. So I think this is our last 2 rounds. Just for fun, I should throw in one of these shorties. I already know it's not going to feed. This is number 8 shot, a little shorty. So I'll give that one a shot in between here, actually. Let's go ahead and put it in. That'll be our first shot. There we go. All right, here we go. Wow, the shorty did okay. It actually caught it And got it to load the next round. Last one failed to eject again. So that seems like a common theme. These shorties will not feed from the tube, as far as I'm aware. Let's give it a shot again. Shorty in. I am certain these will not feed because I already tried it, but then again, it tends to operate different when you fire it. I think it holds 6 in the tube. 7 in the tube. That one was a bit tight. Let's see what happens. Yep, so as you see there, it wants to try and feed 2 at once. And again, wants to feed 2 at once. So, I don't know if you could even see that. There you go. So it tries to feed 2 at once. They're too short. In general, with the heavier loads, this thing operates pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and lube it up. We'll give it another try later. I think that'll make a big difference, having some actual lubricant in there versus what they've come with factory. In general, that stuff isn't the best anyway. So we'll go ahead and call this one the end of the video. So thanks for joining us. This is a fun little shotgun for sure. It seems to be not quite reliable yet. So I'm going to go through it and make sure it's 100%. And look at that, I already got blood on it. It's not a good day at the range without bleeding on your guns. Yeah, we'll go through this, see if we can get it running a little bit smoother than what it is. I think I'm going to go through the trigger group here too, maybe smooth it up. It seems to have a pretty decent trigger, but let's see if I can get these out of there. Release. Yeah. It seems to have a pretty decent trigger though, but that's not what it's for. It's not the most accurate marksman pistol out there. It's not a pistol either, it's a firearm. So we'll go through this a bit and see what we get. And it looks like I'm starting to lose my trigger group pin anyway, so it's a good thing I stopped. So we'll get that locked in there a little better as well. All right, we'll catch you on the next video.